So it was brought to my attention recently when I was, looking through some of my comments. People don't like my message and the things that I tell people like about, malignant narcissists and things that's going on in the Black community that's affects us all. But not only that, it does go on, not only in the Black community, it goes on the Hispanic community as well. About 2 weeks ago, approximately 2 weeks ago, I was sleeping in my bed and I was woken out my sleep at 5 a.m. in the morning. And when I heard the banging at my door, I thought it was a fire. My heart was racing because I thought it was a fire in my apartment. And I thought it was either a fire or somebody in the building. It was an ambush at my door. But what made me wake up out my sleep was the sound of the young lady's voice at the door. Like I heard her screaming, but I didn't know what the scream was about. So when I went through my peephole, I didn't see anyone. And then when I opened up the door, her head was just full of blood and her face was so swelled up. And when I opened the door, I just looked at her and I just said, "What happened?" And she was like, "My boyfriend, he hit me," right? So I went back in my apartment and I did call police. I called 911 because the blood that was just dripping from her head, I could not just stand there and just ask her whether she wanted me to call them or not. I didn't even care. She needed an EMS. She needed them to wrap her head, and she needed someone to be there for her. Even though I don't really know her, but I know her. I mean, I've seen her, come in and out with her husband, her man, or whatever the case may be. And the only encounter I had was when they was locked out of their apartment, and I was, helping them call a locksmith for them and everything like that. But it lets me know that narcissistic abuse and domestic violence is still on the rampage, and we need people to bring awareness to this, that women are still suffering in silence. Not only is the Black community, but the Hispanic community as well. Women are still being subject to violent acts, violent attacks on them with their mate or their spouse or their boyfriend. It's still going on. I am a victim of domestic violence. About 12, 13 years ago, I had a fight with my daughter's father. He choked me in my bathroom and held me in the air and dragged me by my hair in my hallway because a high school friend called me to see how I was doing. You know what I mean? Like violent attacks at the spur of the moment that happens out of nowhere. You don't even see it coming. But I want everyone to be aware that domestic violence and narcissistic abuse is still on a rampage. Rest in peace to Tina Turner. She was another one that was a victim of domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. This still needs to be aware, and we need not to be silent about this.